Hello, and welcome to CHD Wise, a virtual education series for patients and their families. On this episode, we are talking about research. What kinds are out there? Should you participate? And how you can learn more. My name is Rebeka Acosta, and I will be your host for this episode. As a board certified patient advocate and the director of education here at Conquering CHD, I am passionate about sharing knowledge with the community. Although it is very important to note, this presentation is not meant to substitute for medical advice, and that if you're interested in participating in research, you should discuss it directly with your physician and the research team. This episode of CHD Wise will explain different types of medical research, review advancements in the congenital heart disease research fields, provide background information on clinical trials and surveys, and highlight research efforts here at Conquering CHD. Let's go. Medical research can largely be placed into three categories: population, laboratory, and clinical. Population research is commonly known as epidemiology and is the study of how and why diseases occur in groups of people. Results from this type of research provide recommendation for disease prevention. Epidemiology research is commonly performed at the Centers for Disease Control, or CDC, as well as universities and major research communities. Specific to congenital heart disease, this research is focused on the causes, risks, and prevention of CHD. Public health research is a broader form of population or epidemiology research, and it includes studies on how patients use the healthcare system, perception of their health, treatment patterns, and health disparities. You'll learn more a little later in this episode about Conquering CHD's public health research program. Laboratory research is commonly known as basic research because it's often the starting point for clinical studies. Experiments are conducted in a lab environment to understand how a disease works. Basic research in the CHD field includes animal trials, genetic and biocellular studies on new valves and growing hearts, and more. The National Institutes of Health, or NIH, is the largest funder of this type of research in the United States. Clinical research is conducted on people to better understand, diagnose, prevent, and treat a disease. At the NIH, there are currently 39 clinical trials that are actively enrolling patients living with congenital heart disease. So much research takes place in closed environments, but as patients and family members, we do get to see the outputs of that work. The news media often highlights findings, including new medical devices, new medications, new interventions or surgical procedures, and new recommendations based on behavioral studies. All of these outputs are present in congenital heart disease research. The last century has seen an absolute explosion of surgical and medical advancements in diagnosing and treating CHD. There are far too many to list here, but some highlights from the American Heart Association include the development of right heart catheterizations in 1929, the Blalock-Taussig-Thomas shunt in 1944, the first successful cardiac transplantation in 1966, the discovery of the NKX25 gene in 1998, and most recently last year, the FUEL trial for Fontan patients. Patient participation is critical in medical research. Your experiences, perspectives, opinions, and needs are paramount to successful forward progress in all areas of medical research. The most common ways patients are involved in research is through clinical trials. In the United States, clinical trials are performed by medical organizations, individual physicians, teams of physicians, and other groups in a clinical setting. These trials are largely funded by federal agencies such as the NIH, who maintains a comprehensive dashboard of all clinical trials at the national level. Conquering CHD provides a link directly to those trials relating to congenital heart disease on our website. You can visit us at conqueringchd.org, click Get Involved, and then click Participate in Research. You may also capture the QR code on your screen, which will take you directly to the NIH dashboard. Some patients do not feel comfortable participating in clinical trials, and that is A-OK. Being involved in non-clinical studies is also an option. Many patients, and their family members as well, complete official surveys which help advance research in many CHD subspecialties like neurodevelopment, mental health, or heart center and clinic best practices. Conquering CHD maintains a list of surveys available to patients and families from our trusted scientific partners. Please visit us at conqueringchd.org, click Get Involved, and click navigate to participate in research. You may also capture the QR code on your screen. Details on each survey and study are available, as well as contact information for the exact research team. Conquering CHD is committed to research that matters. We actively promote the belief that the patient should be at the center of any research study from beginning to end. We represent the patient voice in several research collaboratives, as well as individual research projects. In the last 2 years, we have collaborated with researchers around the world on mental health, neurodevelopmental outcomes, and quality of life projects. If you are a CHD researcher interested in combining efforts, please contact us at the link on your screen. If you are a patient or family member who is interested in research design, please give us a shout at CHD Wise at conqueringchd.org. Inform CHD is Conquering CHD's unique patient-powered database for the congenital heart community. The database collects information from people with CHD over time, of all ages, all types of CHD, all races and ethnicities, and all geographic regions. Inform CHD is a unique endeavor because it collects data directly from patients and families, which allows us to educate patients in the medical community, create and build programs, better advocate at the federal level, and of course, inform future research. The Inform CHD database is secured and maintained by experts at Arbor Metrics. The first program of Inform CHD is the COVID19 and CHD Survey, which launched successfully in May 2020 in partnership with Boston Children's Hospital and public health experts across the country. People living with CHD aged 18 and up may participate regardless of the type of their CHD, their age at diagnosis, their treatment course, or their geographic location. Caregivers of minors living with CHD may also participate. This program collects personal information, which makes it possible to resurvey patients and families, capturing results over time, and thus providing a complete picture of how COVID-19 has affected our community. To date, over 1,000 people have accessed the survey, with nearly 400 completed responses. The program was recently reapproved by the Internal Review Board at Boston Children's Hospital, and Phase 1 preliminary results are expected this summer. To access the survey, visit us at conqueringchd.org/informchd or capture the QR code directly on your screen. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of CHD Wise. Patients and families interested in research design or more details on our research program can email us, chdwise@conqueringchd.org. Researchers and scientific community members who are interested in collaborating should complete the request on our website. And as always, check out our other CHD Wise episodes on our website at conqueringchd.org. Be well and see you next time.